what's going on, movie lovers? Welcome to Apocalypse Movies. I am Jacob Bartley, and this is my review for Moonlight. Now, you might have heard recently that Moonlight has been nominated for Best Picture, and it has, and I will say deservingly so. This movie came out a while ago, a little later last year, I think around November, maybe even October. It hit theaters, and I remember hearing about it earlier in the year and seeing the trailer, hearing about it from film festivals, hearing that it was a brilliant film. But it just didn't catch my attention. I wasn't, it looked good, but I wasn't like over the moon, no pun intended, excited to see it. And I had been hearing a lot of buzz about it, that it was a favorite to get nominated for Best Picture, and the performances were amazing. I was like, I'm going to see it no matter what. But the nomination for Best Picture is what made it an urgent must for me. And luckily, after it got nominated for Best Picture, it got re-released in the theaters. And I live in Sacramento, California, so I don't get all of the limited releases. So it was good, and I finally went and saw it. And man, does it deserve that Oscar nomination? Hell yeah, it does. It's an amazing experience. It's a very important film, a very powerful film, and a story that needed to be told. And it's not the easiest movie to watch, but it's necessary to watch. It's a prime example of a film that it has social commentary in it, and is something that speaks on something that makes people uncomfortable. And you might have seen it in the trailers. The main plot is just this young man who develops through 3 stages in his life: a kid, a teenager, and a man, and how he struggles with his self-identity and with his sexuality. And they show that in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. And I thought the way this movie was handled was so great, so respectful, and so classy. Like, you can make a movie about this material and go way too over the top with, showing the sexualness of it and all that. But the way it was handled in this movie was so respectful and so classy. And shout out to, I think the name of the director is Barry Jenkins, for making such a brilliant film. This is a movie that after you watch it, you're thinking about it for several days after it. And you're just like, you're putting the pieces together and connecting different parts of the film. And you're like, wow, what an amazing piece of art. And that's what this movie was to me, an amazing piece of art. And probably the best thing about this movie is the performances. Mahershala Ali, he was on Luke Cage. He played Cottonmouth on Luke Cage. He's probably most known for that. And I know he was on other shows. I don't want to name the show that I think he's on, because I don't want to be wrong, but he was on other shows before, and he's been in other things. But most notably for me, in Luke Cage, and then also Moonlight. And he's nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and I think he deserves it. I don't know if he's the favorite, in my opinion. Right now, he is the favorite because he won the SAG Award, the Screen Actors Guild Award. But I think he definitely is deserving of that nomination. He's fantastic in this movie. He just has limited screen time, so maybe that's one of the negatives I would put on him winning the Oscar. But I would not complain at all if he wins the Oscar. But damn, even better than him in this movie is Naomie Harris. Now, for me, I said hands down, in Fences, Viola Davis is going to win whatever category she got nominated in. I would argue that Viola Davis is a lead actress in Fences, but she is nominated for Best Supporting Actress. And I said clear favorite, Viola Davis. But after seeing Moonlight, Naomie Harris, oh my goodness, she destroys this role. She kills it. She murders it, knocks it out of the park, however you want to put it. She is absolutely incredible. The best I've ever seen her. Maybe even better than Viola Davis in Fences. It's neck and neck for me. It's tied. I give the slight edge to Viola Davis because she is in the film Fences more. She gets more screen time, but that's why I said she might be a lead of that film. So if you take Viola Davis out of this category, hand Naomie Harris the Oscar right away. She is absolutely incredible. And the 3 actors who played the boy in these 3 different stages, they were all very solid. Supporting cast was all great, but Mahershala Ali and Naomie Harris, the 2 Oscar nominations for this film, deserve those Oscar nominations. They were absolutely incredible. Two of the best performances of the year, especially Naomie Harris. Now, speaking of the boy going from, you know, childhood, adolescence to adulthood, the way the story is told is brilliant. It's freaking incredible. It reminds me of a fiction. I mean, Boyhood. It reminds me of Boyhood. Boyhood is fiction as well. I don't know why I said that, but it reminds me of Boyhood in a way, but very, very different. But also, the way the director puts the audience in these scenarios with this character was handled amazingly. Like, you feel this tension, you feel for this character so much in each stage of his life, and you're like, holy crap. There's people that go through these things in real life, and the way the story's told is just brilliant. And like I said, shout out to Barry Jenkins for doing this movie. It's absolutely incredible. Now, the movie wasn't perfect for me. Like, it wasn't a 10 out of 10. I'll give my score at the end of this review, but it's not getting a 10 out of 10. And that's mostly to do with the third act. Because the first act and the second act are damn near perfect. Like, they set this story up so brilliantly, and you're wondering where it's going to go. And the third act just slows down. It's not as great as the first and second act, but it's still really good. And it finishes strong, but it's not like first, second act are like masterpiece brilliance. Third act is really good, but not on that same level. Maybe prevents it for me from maybe being the favorite to win Best Picture. But I just think the third act it's not bad. It didn't fall apart or anything. It's just when you watch those first two acts, you're like, holy shit. And then third act, oh, all right, that was good. That would be my only negative, honestly, is that the film starts off really strong and then ends pretty good or okay. But other than that, there's no negatives in this film. There's no real negatives. This is brilliant, and I usually have a negative for every movie that I see. It's happened twice this year. Hacksaw Ridge, I gave it a 10 out of 10. This movie's not going to get it a 10 out of 10 because it didn't finish as strong, but it's still one of those movies where, like, no complaints from me. And one of the things I was worried about is, you know, I don't care if it's even straight, you know, sex scenes or anything. Like, even a man and a woman, I don't want to see over-the-top, like, make-out scenes or sex scenes. Like, and this movie dealing with this man's sexuality and having kissing scenes or, you know, sexual scenes with him and another man, you know, that could be uncomfortable for some people. And like I said, I don't care if it's straight or homosexual sex scenes. I don't want things to be over the top, and they didn't go over the top with these things. That it was handled so well and treated with respect, and I really did appreciate that. It didn't make the audience uncomfortable, and I that's something that when you're covering material like this, I think is important, because you don't want to just shove it in people's face. Like, we get it, and you don't want to shove it in people's face. So I thought that was just handled great. And overall, Moonlight is one of the best movies of 2016. It's so powerful, and I think it's a great movie. And with that, I'm going to give Moonlight a 9 out of 10. If the third act was as strong as the first two acts, this would be the fifth movie that I ever in my entire life give a 10 out of 10 to. Hacksaw Ridge was the fourth earlier this year. But I give Moonlight a 9 out of 10. It's a phenomenal film. I don't think it's going to win Best Picture. La La Land is going to win Best Picture. Not that I think it should. I think Hacksaw Ridge should win Best Picture, but Moonlight is not far behind those films. But it's probably going to be La La Land. Come on now. Alright, well, that's going to do it for my review of Moonlight. Thank you all for listening. Again, I am Jacob Bartley for Apocalypse Movies. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit that like button. Hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what you thought of Moonlight, or if you're looking forward to watching the film. And until next time, as always, take care.